We're all about Broadway's hottest tickets each and every week here on The Broadway Show. I'm Tamsen Fidel. It's another must-see show and another star-studded opening night on Broadway. We hit the carpet for the opening night of the new play Job. It's a psychological thriller about a tech company employee who's put on leave after a video of her goes viral and her conversations with her therapist.
This show is a conversation between two people who are basically locked in a room together. There's no obvious way out, no obvious way forward, and they step by step negotiate how to move on with their lives. I think the writing resonates with young people. It's written by a young person. It's exciting to have a young, new playwright on Broadway. That's thrilling.
The writing is so good, so smart, not just clever, smart. They're phrases that you wish you had come up with that are succinct enough to cover the whole subject, and you would have taken a paragraph to say the same thing. They're brilliant.
We don't actually see a lot of plays that bring us very deeply into the mind of a 27-year-old person who grew up on the internet and sees no distinction between the digital space and real space. Those two things aren't separate anymore. I think that's true in our world. And so instead of saying, oh, we're online or we're offline, we're always online.
I write for my friends, and like my thesis as an artist is wanting to get young people engaged in theater. And my thesis as like a person is, again, wanting to like make my friends proud and make my friends laugh.
Sure, the child is cursed, but the story? Well, it is pure magic. I sat down with the actor who plays grown-up Harry Potter, Steve Haggard. Well, it's good to see you.
It's good to see you.
Well, so I have to ask you, you are a newbie to New York. How has it been treating you? It's a little bit different than what we were used to.
It's great. I have been falling in love with it. Chicago was like my home and my heart for a long time. I'm just surprised that I feel so at home in New York. There's always a changing, there's always a going and a movement about New York that I've never been any place like it.
I couldn't agree more with you.
Listen to me, I'm such a tourist.
I know, I love it. I want to take you on the big red bus or whatever that is.
Show me New York. And I get to go to work every day and be Harry Potter, so that helps.
Yeah, that's not a bad gig, right?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Well, talk about how that happened, because originally you were Harry and Draco, correct?
Sure.
And how long did that last before you got the...
Well, I was the understudy for Harry and Draco, and so I was able to do Harry a couple times in the two-part, and Draco, which was a lot of fun to be able to sort of do the different versions of that. And then after the shutdown, we came back and I opened the show as Harry. They asked me to be Harry, and I said yes.
I think I'll do it.
Yeah, maybe, let me think about it. One of my favorite things about doing the show is getting to see people experience the Wizarding World in a different way. So like maybe they've read the books, or they've seen a movie or two, or all of them, if you're me, and they come in, they step into this theater, the Lyric Theater, and from the get-go, you're in a world in which magic exists, in which magic is just a given. To be able to experience that every day new with a new audience is, that's really a joy.
I think what's exciting is so many people, I think myself included, waited so long to dive into that world, right? Like we imagined it in our heads, we saw it in a movie, but it wasn't really tangible. And I think the theater, the show makes it feel tangible, right?
One of my favorite things is to hear kids who come see it, and I'll do an illusion. We rehearse these illusions for months. We're very precise about them because they are happening every time right in front of the audience. And they have to be very precise to work. Hearing the kids in the audience go, ah, like, what?
And the adults, by the way.
Well, that too. I had a friend who came to see it. They kept being like, how do you do that? How does this work? How does this work? And at some point over the course of the show, they were just like, I give up, I give over. I don't know how it works, I don't know.
You really are magical.
Yeah. But I think that energy is what makes the job such a a pleasure to do because you remember like, oh, someone's experiencing the Wizarding World for the first time tonight.
I love the fact that the Potterheads are all different ages. I mean, everyone came to this at a different time. It wasn't that it came out, everybody read. It's, you know, you've got an 11-year-old sitting next to a 50-year-old, and they've either read the book or watched a movie, and they're all, you know, equally just enchanted by it. I don't think you have that very often with shows.
No, I've done a lot of plays, and it's a luxury, and it's also a responsibility to portray these characters that so many people have grown up with or have a relationship with.
Let's talk about how you got started in theater and acting. You've had a lot of different jobs, I understand, from Chicago, right?
Oh, sure. I've had a lot of different jobs outside of theater, too. But,
what did you have?
Oh, man, I had some weird jobs. I moved libraries.
What does that mean?
Did you know that libraries have to move from time to time? So I don't know. It was me and like
a lot of library. I don't know. You move
like
books?
Colleges. Yeah, you move books. You go and you move books. You put them on a truck. You move the furniture around. I mean, you know, you have to make a living. I was a waiter. I'm a terrible waiter.
You are? Why?
Yes.
You can't remember? How could you not remember orders? You remember lines all night long.
I get so stressed out. I once dumped a tray full of, I got fired this night, but I dumped a tray full of ice water down this lady's backless dress. It was terrible. My manager was like, Steve, can we have a conversation? And then we both mutually agreed that it was not the best job for me.
So it wasn't firing, it was a negotiation.
Yeah, we worked it out. I was like, you're right, I'm terrible.
Now, how did you first get involved in theater? Did you say, like, this is always what I wanted to do? Did you, was it a...
No, I got cut from the baseball team.
What do you mean? You got cut from the baseball team, so you just had to do theater?
Yeah. My mom was like, you gotta get out of the house. And so my mom encouraged me to do theater. My high school ended up having this amazing theater program, and my friend sort of tricked me into auditioning for the director. I did a bunch of like impressions, I guess, when I was younger.
Of people?
People, I thought.
Can I see one?
Absolutely not.
Why? You do magic every night.
Well,
Just one.
No, no, it's funny. I think I was really, I don't know if I was good at it when I was
Somebody thought you were good at it.
Somebody did. And they sort of, they surrounded me and wouldn't let me go until I did it for the director. And the director was like,
You're in.
You should
play baseball,
You should be in a play, kid.
It's time to take a walk with a Broadway star, so let's send it out to Charlie Cooper.
I am so excited for you because I feel like this is a full circle moment for you.
I know.
Because you made your Broadway debut over a decade ago at the Winter Garden, and look, you're back.
I'm back home.
Literally back home. What does that feel like?
Oh my gosh, it does feel like a full circle moment. Like, I was so young. I made my Broadway debut as Sophie. It was my first Broadway job, first Broadway show, and to be coming back now feels really special, and playing this role that I love so much on the same stage. Yeah, I feel really lucky.
I love that so much. This show is just huge.
Yes.
Everything from the lighting and the illusion and the singing and the dancing, and it's just huge. It's incredible. Tell me a little bit about what like brought you into this and made you want to be a part of this.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding? I got the first call for my audition. I was out of town closing my last show that I did, and I got the call and I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen that movie in years. And I sat down and I watched the movie and just fell in love with it all over again, and especially the role of Lorraine Baines. I was like, I must go in for this.
You were lucky enough to meet the actual like people who were part of the movie.
Yes.
What was that like?
Oh my God, are you kidding? It was incredible. I died.
Yeah.
Leah Thompson came to our opening gala night and came on stage after and found me, and we hugged, and then she said some really nice words after her. I was like, I was freaking out. I was like, I've seen her performance so many times.
Yes.
She's such an icon. I was thrilled.
Any good advice or any good like, what'd you get while in her presence? Did you glean anything from her?
She's amazing. She's like She's cool, she's grounded, she's such a great actress, and like, she has such a cool spirit and energy, and I was just like, I don't know, I was like soaking it up.
Yeah. Okay, I have to ask you, if you could be transported back to any decade or any time period in your life maybe, when would it be and why?
You know, I want to go back to the 90s.
Yeah,
and I want to be an adult in New York City in the 90s. Because I was very young, and like, I want to know what that vibe was like, because I feel like it was a cool time.
When you were a kid, because you kind of just referenced like childhood, was there one show that really captured your attention and made you feel like this is what I want to do? Like, I know.
A musical?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. I saw that on Broadway starring Roger Bart.
No.
Yes, as Snoopy.
Oh my God.
I think I was 11, and that show, like, I was like, oh my gosh, I must do this.
Yes.
Roger Bart was so iconic in that role, and my mom and I just loved it so much. And I like marched back to my middle school and I was like, we're putting on You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. I'm playing Sally. No, but I mean, me and all my friends, I was like handing out scripts. I was like casting everyone.
I love that. I love that so much. Well, listen, we're here. We're back at your home.
Oh my gosh, so soon, yes.
And listen, break a leg.
Thank
the show
you.
is so good.
Thank you so much.
Everyone and their mom needs to come and see
Yes,
this.
we're having a blast, and I
Yes.
hope audiences are too.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. All right, off I go to work. Bye.
How you doing? I'm Joshua Boone, playing Dallas Winston, also known as Dally in The Outsiders, and you're watching The Broadway Show. And buckle up. Buckle up!
Thanks so much for staying with us for this latest episode of The Broadway Show. I'm so glad you're here. This one's sure to rub you the right way. He is Broadway's genie in a bottle in Disney's Aladdin. Michael James Scott plays the genie, and Paul Wontorek took a walk with him through Broadway and his stellar career on stage.
That's right, Tamsin. Before Michael James Scott was getting standing O's as the genie in Aladdin, he's been getting applause up and down these blocks. Am I right?
Obviously. Yes! Yes! Oh
How
my
are
gosh.
you?
I'm good. I'm so happy to
Look,
see you.
here we are. Look at all this branding. Aladdin, the New
nice
Amsterdam
subtle,
Theater.
you
You're
know.
back. The genie's back. So we're gonna go for a little walk. We're gonna see some of the highlights.
Oh
we're gonna
gosh.
relive your past.
I'm a little overwhelmed by that. Like I've never done that, so I'm like, oh my gosh, like we're gonna do that?
We're doing it. You actually performed across the street. That theater has changed names.
Yes.
It used to be the Hilton Theater.
The Hilton Theater.
You were in a huge smash called The Pirate Queen. The Pirate Queen.
Oh my God. What you call me? No,
I saw that. I saw that. No,
Oh
Stephanie
my-
J. Block. I call Stephanie J. Block that because she was the Pirate Queen.
She was everything as
She was
the Pirate
everything.
Queen. My favorite thing about that show is we lived for Stephanie's song that she sang, I Am Woman, like every night.
I Am Woman. I forgot it was called
Yes,
that.
it was like
Hear her
Woman,
rule.
yes. And we watched her sing this song every day, and like, we would always like, blown away. And
Yeah.
Stephanie, I mean, like, it was just amazing.
This is the St. James Theater.
Yes.
You were in Something Rotten.
Yes.
Exclamation point.
Exclamation point, yes.
I love that show so much. You were so fantastic in it. You helped create a brand new musical.
Yes.
Who did you play in that?
So I was the minstrel. Welcome to the Renaissance was my song. I opened the show.
You did.
Which was just crazy. I mean, I got to create an opening number of a Broadway show. I was also a part of that show with like comedic geniuses. I mean, from Brian Darcy James, the like dreamy Brian Darcy to Brooks, Ash Manskis, and Brad Oscar. I mean, the list goes on.
The Al Hirschfeld Theater.
Ah.
This is the home of Moulin Rouge, but you did 2 shows here.
I did two shows
shows
here.
First you did
I did hair.
Hair first.
I did hair first. Hair. It was the summer of love. It's also the summer I started dating my husband, which is also a very
how
it's like a
sweet.
very like I remember the show a lot.
Here we are at the Richard Rodgers Theater.
Yes.
Where obviously Hamilton is playing, but we love one name. Tarzan also played here. Before Hamilton, there was Tarzan.
Before Hamilton, there was
and you
Tarzan.
were kind of in it, not for long.
I was in it for I actually don't even remember how long. It was so crazy how short it was. I went through all of the craziness of the flying and everything. And I actually was in the show, went into the show, and then we got our closing notice. Literally my third, I think it was a month in.
Okay, the Eugene O'Neill Theater.
Yes!
You did not perform Eugene O'Neill here.
No.
Very much the opposite. You were actually in the Book of Mormon, which is still here, and you were in the original cast.
I was in the original cast of the Book of Mormon.
And you got to watch that entire process of watching a show that went on to become a legendary musical, win Best Musical.
Yes.
And you got to sort of, when you're in one of those casts, the whole cast sort of becomes part of the triumph.
Absolutely. I mean, I was there from the very first secret reading. I had no idea what I said yes to. I loved it so much. The material is just beyond brilliant. I played Dr. Gotswana, so I sing about having maggots in my...
Oh, that's correct,
that's me,
yes.
That's me. I was belting that on the stage. It means a lot also because this musical, the material it was very unapologetic.
Yep.
And I was so proud to be a part of something that was unapologetic, but also making people think and being a big Broadway musical.
Mamma Mia.
Here I go again.
You did that show.
I did that show.
That was right here at the Winter Garden.
Oh my gosh.
Mamma Mia.
I did Mamma Mia.
That was a hit.
It was a hit. It was it was really fun.
My favorite part is the mega mix at the end.
Oh.
Amazing, right?
First of all, I mean, it's you get to the show and then there's another show that happens.
Yeah,
the full
fallout.
third act.
Yeah. So here we are, literally in the middle of Times Square.
Oh.
The Palace, as in Judy played the Palace.
As in
right?
Judy played,
Garland.
yes.
And you also made your Broadway debut at the Palace.
My Broadway debut, I made it in a show called All Shook Up, with all Elvis music. Amazing Broadway veterans in that show.
Yeah.
It's almost 20 years ago.
What was that kid like?
Oh my gosh, he was, he just was a sponge who wanted to soak up Broadway and the dreams of being on Broadway. I saw my very first Broadway show where I did my first.
What? That's crazy.
I'm so mad.
What's
at
that?
you right now.
That's a genie.
James Monroe Iglehart just passed by. I'm so mad at you. I'm so mad at you.
Hi, I'm Shoshana Bean. I play Jersey in Hell's Kitchen, and this is Teenage Love Affair by Alicia Keys. Can't wait to get home and baby dial your number. Can you pick up the phone? 'Cause I wanna holler. Ooh, daydreaming about you all day in school. I can't concentrate. Wanna have your voice in my ear till mama come and say it's too late. 'Cause the lights are on outside. Wish there was somewhere to hide. 'Cause I just don't want to say goodbye. 'Cause you are my baby, baby. Nothing really matters. I don't really care what nobody tell me. I'm gonna be here. It's a matter of extreme importance. My first teenage love affair. I love our secret meetings on the 5th floor staircase. I wanna give you this letter of all the things I can't say. Want you to be my first, my last, my ending, my beginning. I write your name in my book, your last name, my first. I'm your business. The lights are on outside. Wish there was somewhere to hide. I just don't want to say goodbye. 'Cause you are my baby, baby. Nothing really matters. I don't really care what nobody tell me. It's a matter of extreme importance. My first teenage love affair. day.
And that's going to do it for us. But for tickets, or if you want to check out extended cuts of all these interviews, head over to Broadway.com. I'm Tamsen Fidel, and this is The Broadway Show.